Dusty Maxwell, we are friends.
But we are also enemies, my friend.
Yes, we are also that. But more specifically, we are NHL Rivals in the year of our Lord, 2004.
And this is the title of the game, correct?
That is the intention. Yes. This is NHL Rivals 2004 for Microsoft's Xbox, not the Xbox One,
The original,
but the first Xbox.
the big chunky boy.
Yeah. Do you remember this era of like sports games?
Yeah, so I was saying before that, EA Sports, of course, for sports.
Yeah.
Xbox Sports,
Yeah.
and then the Sega Sports. The Sega Sports was still big, man. People
Yeah.
forget that the Dreamcast was really big with the whole sports stuff. So yeah, those are kind of the three that stuck out because, I mean, what did Sony have for the PS2?
Well, they
EA.
had the EA, but they also had 989 Studios. They were making the NHL Face-Off game. So last time we were here, we played NHL 94 for Sega CD.
Yeah.
And all we did was talk about 989 Studios.
I know.
And now we are playing an Xbox game. Microsoft decided, yes, we have a sports game as well. And now we're at least going to talk about this a little bit. XSN Sports, which is like Microsoft's attempt to rival EA, because EA wasn't making games for the Xbox at that time, I don't believe.
No, I don't. And if they were, I don't think that it was like. I still think the place to play Madden was still the PlayStation 2,
100%.
right? Like, I think not a lot of people were migrating to the Xbox to play sports quite yet. But I mean, yeah, man. Already this looks pretty decent. No?
It is edgy as hell. Everything has like swoopy designs because that's graphic design in the early 2000s. Yeah, so I've never played this game before, believe it or not, despite me being an original Xbot.
So I may win this, is what you're saying?
Normally, you win the games that are not very good. So,
Well-
we'll see how we're going to play best of 3 today, and we're going to see whether or not this game is any good based on whether or not you beat me or no.
So my question for you is,
Yeah.
already this is a red flag. The jerseys are changing, but their faces aren't. What's going on here?
Well,
Who are these people?
that's Hockey Man 2004.
So it's Hockey Man 2004.
Hockey Man 2004. That's just, well, you got to understand. Back in the year 2004, everyone was just the same person. That's just how it was back then.
No individuals.
No
individuality.
individualism, funnily enough, was invented in 2005, so it's just a year late.
Okay, the year that I went to the Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah, year of Vans Warped Tour, and the year of, like, I don't know, was Spice World out by then, or were the Spice Girls out?
Spice World was way out.
Yeah,
by then,
exactly.
man.
So
you're gonna pick Dallas. I'm gonna pick my team, Detroit here. looks
yeah,
like.
no Dino Ciccarelli, so I might have a
Just-
chance.
really.
Yeah.
What do you think? We're good?
I think we're good. I think you just got to hit A and then pick your jersey.
I do. No, you know what? Let's do this one because at least one light, one dark. We can see
We're-
each other.
we're
Pro,
profe-
but
we're
we're
pro-
playing against each other.
We're
though.
professional gamesmen, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're sports people. I say we maintain 16-bit
fighting
era fighting on 2-line passes. Of course not. We don't want to ruin the finesse of our sportsmanship. So this ought to be important to look at. I have a
we may
feeling.
get into a fight in this one.
We may. So X is shoot, A is pass. Now I have a benefit here because I don't think you've picked up an Xbox controller in your life, except for maybe if like to beat someone with the Duke because it's massive.
I honestly, I don't want to say that this is no. I've played Xbox in the past, but this is going to be the longest I think I've ever played it.
Yeah.
I'm not an Xbox guy, but I'm gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
You know I've been buying the games, man. So that's coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me play Grabbed by the Ghoulies,
Uh-huh.
and you said, "Now I have to have that. I have to have this hella 2000s young
you
lad."
convinced me, man. You convinced me. It's the Xbox is a good system. I mean it's like I'm hip to it. This
Wow.
looks great.
I'm shocked by how good this looks. Oh man, Dominic Hasek.
Holy
Oh.
wow. Wow, look at this.
I don't know what's going on really, but I'm feeling
Doesn't
good about
matter.
this already.
The rink, because we, playing NHL 94 and then coming to this, look how much longer the rink feels, man.
Oh, I got a penalty, so
Did
we're off
you?
to a good start. I believe the right trigger is
Turbo.
turbo. Yeah. I do have a slight concern about this game, which is, and I don't think it's my TV at all, but I can't see my players. They just look like giant shadows.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like, now they look fine. I'm gonna tie up your stick because that's how I live my life. But they're kind of, they're kind of like indistinguishable hunks of mass. All right,
at the
all right, that's the
ice.
thing to do.
What was X is to shoot?
X is to shoot, but maybe I
Here we
shouldn't
go,
tell you
buddy.
that.
Boom. Boom.
So you're in the process of buying an original Xbox, as one does in 2021, nearly 2022.
Yeah, it's happening. I've convinced myself. I started to buy the games, so it's happening, man. I'm gonna do it.
What do you have so far? I mean, you know that I'm a big Xbox fan. I have a lot of original Xbox games. So have any of my choices rubbed off on you, or are you starting off with like the classics?
So, like, I bought Halo.
Okay.
I bought Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
I bought Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Yeah, definitely a top 3 Xbox game.
Well, that's actually, back in the day, the only thing I kind of was jealous about when I saw the Xbox were the games like Blinks the Time Sweeper, Voodoo Vince.
Yeah.
I I really like that stuff, man, because when I was on the PS2, I was playing Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper. Like, I like the mascots. I told you before, I like that kind of stuff, and I was saying to you before, that's like the closest that Microsoft ever got to trying to kind of trying to like do that what Nintendo does and what Sony was doing, right? It felt like they were building a family of characters with, the characters, even the characters like what's his name, the Cooper from Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they should have continued on with it.
I would have thought so, but Microsoft, I remember hoping, against hope at the time for a game that would, match a lot of the platformers that were coming out for PS2, and all the games at the time felt, just a little bit underwhelming compared to what PS2 had. But it's unfair really now to say that, given how good we know that. Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, those games were like monumental.
Yeah.
So to say like Blinks the Time Sweeper isn't any good, that's how I felt at the time. But, in retrospect, and that's one of the nice things about having this channel is, we make videos because we're interested in the games, right? We're not, we're happy that people watch the videos, but more importantly, we get to play stuff that maybe we didn't play at the time, or we get to go back and play them again.
Yeah.
And like, playing Grab by the Ghoulies is a perfect example. I didn't think that game was very good. I didn't spend any time on it, and now I appreciate it so much more. And I feel like that's going to be the same case, like
With the Blinks?
with Blinks and with Voodoo Vince, which I liked quite a bit. I loved Voodoo Vince back in the day, and I don't know, maybe that's something that we'll cover again in the future.
Well, it's funny because, Blinks, they actually made a sequel to it, which means I feel like they obviously thought that there was potential in it.
Yeah.
They made the sequel, and I think what they did was, because the original Blinks, he doesn't speak in English. It's a made-up language, right?
Yeah.
It's like a weird cat alien language, and I think they knew, they're like, there's potential in this. Let's just make it, a human language here, and then they did it, but nobody cared. But now if you try to buy Blinks 2, it's like $100 on eBay.
Yeah,
right?
it's one of those things that it's in your, I mean, I bought most of the games that I have new, right? So I don't, a lot of the times I don't need to look at collecting some of those titles. But like Blinks is one of the rare games that's so expensive for the Xbox that, but more or less, I think like it's really, I think you're hard pressed to find a quote unquote retro console like the Xbox that's so good to collect for, because the prices are decent,
Well, if you, like, for example...
Or maybe I shouldn't say that, because then now...
Well, now everyone's going to go buy Xbox games, but I mean... Like, for example, there's been a couple sites that I've been looking at to buy, for example, like Silent Hill 4 The Room.
Mm-hmm.
For Xbox, it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like $64 right now. And for the PS2, good luck if you can find one that's like under $100.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and I think people are going to wake up to that. They're going to say, why am I spending $100 on this PS2 game when I can just get the same game that it does have better. The Xbox, the graphics were better on it, dude.
Yeah, it was a more powerful console.
Towards the end of the PS2's lifespan, like Shadow of the Colossus looked unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Like that was at Xbox level, but that was only after like these devs had years and years to kind of master developing for it. But right out of the gates, the Xbox stuff looked great, man.
It was one of those things in those generations where like it's weird because the previous generation, like I felt like back in the day, and that's mostly because we were poor. We didn't have. I mean, we're
poor high school kids.
Yeah, I mean, we're and are poor, but in any case, you bought one console, right, and then you fought to the death to defend that console.
Yeah.
And
hence, that's why you get fanboys.
And that's how you get fanboys, because everyone was a poor high school kid defending the choice to buy an Xbox. Meanwhile, people like you were rocking out with Final Fantasy X, which in retrospect, I feel like I won that war.
I don't like Final Fantasy X, man.
Yeah, I just like I had come from.
Don't like it.
I just feel like I had come from the PlayStation 1 to the Xbox, and I don't know how I ended up with the Xbox, but there were no JRPGs. Basically, everything I liked about the Xbox.
Wow. Well, this is more true to life. It's not like NHL 94 where things are just going in here like there's a magnet on the puck.
I just absolutely
This is more true. That. I'm not upset about this because this feels real. This is what would happen in a real NHL game.
Yeah.
Di Maio?
Yeah. So far, so good. I'm...
For you, not for me.
For me. And here's another...
Oh, this isn't 94, buddy. Okay, you can't pull the move on this.
I feel like this is probably a better game than I had feared coming into this. I mean, I realized that this is my choice, and
no. This plays well, man.
I mean, there's lots of bad hockey games to play.
This is not bad.
This is not bad.
Well, this is sort of. In terms of sports games...
Oh, look at that. You can pin someone up against the board. Look at this advance. In 2004, they just invented that. That was amazing.
Well, so, I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like around 2002-ish...
Yeah.
It was really hard to make a terrible sports game. I think from the PlayStation and the N64 and from that era, I think once they got... Man...
Mike Vidano. What a goal. That's what happens when you don't pick up the greatest American goal scorer of all time.
We gotta put this guy out here.
Yeah, although I don't know really if we're getting any checks in properly.
So the turbo, as you can see, the green is the turbo. It runs out, right?
Yeah.
At least it shows you that, which is kind of cool to kind of just have something signifying.
It's more than
NHL 94.
That's right.
Look at you, dude. You're like... Oh no! No, I was just saying. I think the PlayStation, it had a lot of sports games, and because of that, like these guys making these games, I think they had a lot of time to just kind of experiment and see what worked. And then once they got this technology for the PS2 or for the the Dreamcast and Xbox, I think they had enough of a test track to kind of just. Well, it seems like you've gotten a handle on the physics now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Mr.
Look at that.
Mr. Xbox.
I just went top shelf on you. That's I think this is a really good game.
I'm sorry, but their faces still all look the same. I'm a little Yeah, it's a good looking game, but it just seems like there's no personality in these.
It's just like the NPC peon meme.
Yes, like all the extras from Grand Theft Auto just decided to play.
Do you think that the reason why PS2 games, even the multi-platform ones, are more like the multi-platform games on PS2 and Xbox where the hell did that puck go?
Up into the friggin' sky here.
Are more expensive on a system like the PS2. Like you mentioned Silent Hill, right? That came out for both consoles.
Yeah.
You think that's because people imagine like Silent Hill, its home is on the PS2 rather than Xbox?
I think a lot of it has to do with that, and I think a lot of it just has to do. Well, like for example, Silent Hill, it's Japanese developers, so I mean, in my mind, it just feels like that kind of the game designers. They're just more in contact with Sony.
Oh.
Yes, I did it, Jay Williams. I just think that they just probably had a better relationship with like Sony, and like for Xbox it was secondary. Like they're just like, cool, it's a port, even though arguably it's gonna look better on the Xbox. That's actually why I was just watching something where so Toe Jam and Earl was supposed to be for Dreamcast, right?
Yeah, the third one, right?
Yeah, so the third one's supposed to be for Dreamcast, and then I think something happened where the team was like, they ended up doing it for the Xbox because it was easier to develop for.
Okay.
I don't think they knew that it was going to only live on the Xbox. I think they had intentions of putting it out on other systems, but they're like, it's better to go up than it's better to develop up than to develop down. So if we develop for the Xbox, at least when it goes to PS2, like whatever, like the Xbox will be the best version, and then we can compress all that stuff. So it's like, what am I trying to say here?
So like the Xbox was the lead platform, and then they were with the intention of releasing it on the Dreamcast. Is that what you?
Well, just talking about how like the Silent Hill's home is on.
Oh right.
The PlayStation. It's like, it's weird because it does feel like that, but in the way to develop, it would have made more sense to make it Xbox specific first, then put it on the PS2, right?
Probably.
But it doesn't seem like they did that, and because of that, I think that they were developing a lot of those games, like the Silent Hill games, like starting from like Silent Hill 2, 3, and then The Room.
Yeah.
They made those games for the PlayStation 2, dude.
Yeah, and
like that's just how it was.
And I think in most cases they probably play the best on the PS2.
And it controls better, and not for nothing, like I know you like the big chunky boy, the Duke.
Yeah.
But it feels better playing those games on the PlayStation controller. So I think when people buy these games, they're buying it because they're like, yeah, it's going to control better on this system. It's not going to necessarily look better, but...
By the way, I've come up with a little hint, which is B is check. Yeah, really? You have to look down on your controller, which is...
Yeah, because it's not circle.
Okay, from now on, I'll use PlayStation lingo. So circle is to check. Oh my God. Steve Yzerman, what a god.
My boy. Isn't it funny how like Detroit is my team though? I don't. Oh, that's a great angle. Look at this. We're doing some fly on the wall stuff here.
I will say this for a 2004 game. I mean, this looks like a 2004 game, but it doesn't look that much like a. It doesn't look like a 17-year-old game. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I may get hate for this.
All right. What else is new?
No. But this looks like it could be a really bad PS3 game.
Yeah, I would say that's probably right.
It looks like, I mean, PS3 would still be 4x3 at this point.
Yeah.
It looks like a really bad PS3 game, and PS3 graphics are fine.
Yeah, I look at the lighting on the ice. That's actually quite good. Notice how it changes as you move up and down, as the camera perspective changes. That's great. I'm pleasantly surprised.
How much did you buy this for?
I think I bought it for $6.
That is a bargain and a half.
I mean, it's a 2004 sports game, so I probably overpaid all told. But there are plenty of deals to be had on the Xbox. And one of the things I do like about the Xbox, just to go back a little bit in time to the conversation about collecting for the Xbox, there's no real games for the Xbox that you're gonna buy, and then like if you buy a new, for argument's sake, you're not gonna leave it in the shrink wrap and let it collect dust on the shelf, right? Like most Xbox games, you'd probably buy to play, but your philosophy on collecting, do you open your games, don't you?
All my games are open. I have the only games that are in like a protective case are Tail Concerto.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, my Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, and I'm trying to remember. There was another one. But dude, I because of the Raspberry Pi, I'm doing emulation, right? But for example, like I bought Toe Ball.
My God.
Whenever I go back to my old setup, I play Toe Ball still, right? Like did that go in?
Did.
I've quite had enough of these Dallas Stars.
Yari Letton. Look at that. You like the little spinorama? You like the fact that you have zero defenders?
Xbox Sports.
They're all still in Michigan. They didn't make the trip down to Reunion Arena.
Like today I played Disruptor.
Yeah.
I got Disruptor, first-person shooter. It's Insomniac's first game. Man, it looks great. I played that today for like 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, I think I gotta.
Why have I never heard of that game? Why do we never hear about?
Because like
game?
15 people bought it, and you want to talk about a hidden gem?
Yeah. What was that? What console was that for? PlayStation 1?
Just PlayStation, PS1. Right. I mean, it's up there, man. It's. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to say things, but like, yeah, okay, it's no GoldenEye, but man, it's got a personality. Like it's awesome. It controls so good.
At a time when the PlayStation 1 did it. Oh my God, I missed that.
But then it's like Disruptor actually. I'm doing this off the dome here. I think it came out before GoldenEye, or around the same time as GoldenEye.
I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta check.
Between the two of us, famously, I don't really like the N64. So if you tell me what year GoldenEye came out, you're asking the wrong guy.
It's interesting because I like the N64 for the platform stuff. Like I love Goemon. I've said this so many times.
You bought me Goemon, so I know how much you love it because you insisted that I have it. Thank you. I guess. Couldn't you buy me a sweater or maybe socks?
Something that you need? Could you buy me
something useful?
Could you buy me a smartphone, perhaps?
We're just not Goemon. But sorry to interrupt.
Well, no, I was just gonna say like. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon is, I don't care. You can say whatever you want. It's top 5 Nintendo 64 games.
Right.
And I said it.
The Goemon.
Okay? I don't care.
The Goemon Defense Force is out in full force tonight.
It's the most weirdest, interesting experience, and I think that was right around Konami's prime as well. Like Metal Gear Solid era. Soul of the Samurai era, like it was right around their prime, and man, Goemon is without a doubt it would be a 10 in my books. It's a strong 9. It's just that camera is atrocious sometimes.
Now just to be clear, we are talking about the same Goemon, the
Mystical Ninja
3D
Goemon.
Adventure one.
Yeah,
where there's that big hill and.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get the 4 characters.
Yeah, that is not a good game.
What?
That is no.
Excuse me.
Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it very much.
Okay, when this game ends, we're gonna actually have a real fight in real life because
you should have donated money to the Human Foundation and
to the Costanza Human Fund.
That's right. I don't. Yeah.
I can't tell if you're joking right now.
I am not joking. That is not a good game.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, I guess for N64 standards.
No, it is a good game, man. It's Goemon is great.
Hey, listen, for a fact that I like an underrated, underappreciated title. There's a certain PS1
Mr.
game.
Mosquito.
There's a certain PS1 game that I have in the hopper to review, which I'm not going to say now, but because that review might take me forever. But that amongst other things, I like No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
Yes, yeah.
And a little game that they call Ninja Gaiden. No, I like rare games.
I know.
Like weird games, but Goemon is not a good game. No.
I disagree, and you know what? This is where it's all personal preference, man. I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't really like fighting games either, though.
No, and I don't like fighting games. I don't like the N64 in general. Not because there's just not other than the Nintendo games. There's nothing that really interested me.
I agree with you. My library of like N64 games that I actually played, dude. It's only like 8 titles.
Yeah, and
it's like 8 titles and that's it. That's where I stop.
And it's a weird thing for me, right? Because of course I'm on the record on this channel as being pro cute and cuddly video games, right? So Nintendo
For the time being, but you're probably gonna get to some really
one day I'm gonna grow up and be an adult, and
you're gonna do like a Parasite Eve thing, and then
another classic.
That's
game.
it. You're no more Mr. PG.
No more Little Big Planet. No more Grab by the Ghoulies. Soon, nothing but
destruction.
Nothing.
Carnage.
Only Manhunt and Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball coming from reviews coming from Falstaff.
You're gonna do a Thrill Kill.
We're gonna review Thrill Kill and
do it.
And Wu-Tang Shaolin style.
I mean, I would do Thrill Kill and be like, and by the way,
this is the same game.
It ended up becoming Wu-Tang Shaolin style.
Get on the home side.
I'm on the home side. Not bad.
So far, the game, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
There's a bit of a learning curve to it.
And that felt a little longer than I anticipated.
How long? It was 5 minutes.
It's 5-minute periods. We're, about 25 minutes in.
But it's real hockey, though. Like, it's like the rules and everything. What's going on here?
You have to pick a team. That's...
it's taking long to load. That's why. Okay, let's do...
I'm going to be...
Let's do the Canadiens here.
Let's be the Pens, because I don't know.
I guess the thing is, like, this isn't NHL 94 anymore. We're talking 2004 era, and I don't think the Canadiens were good.
They weren't very good. I don't think most teams that weren't like the Detroit.
Who's
Red
on the
Wings.
cover? Detroit was
phenomenal
this year.
Yeah. For argument's sake, should we go down to 2 minutes? Just because we're gonna try to do best of 3, but you might beat me in this, so.
Okay, let's do 2 minutes because we're hitting on 27 minutes here, my friend.
Okay,
my frenemy.
We'll just do 2 minutes for now. Hopefully, we'll get into a fight though.
Well, let's try to instigate a fight here.
I don't think you can.
Yes, we can.
B is to Deke.
Let's instigate a fight.
Sorry, circle is to Deke.
I love how they're like, we're not showing the Duke. We're gonna forget about that little mistake.
Ooh, advanced saucer pass. Man, look at the crowd. They're all individuated. They're all clapping. Oh, man, the Penguins are 27-44 and something. But that is not a good record. I like it. Dude,
this looks great.
I will say, I was a hell of a defender of the XSN sports games, the Xbox Sports Network games. There was there was NFL Fever with Peyton Manning on the cover.
Their faces, this is still the era, though, where they couldn't put a lot of personality into these faces.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Mario Lemieux's on this team. Well, now I have to beat you. Or just lose the puck. I don't know any of these players except for Mario Lemieux, and that's probably fine. Jose Theodore.
Holy. I'm getting, like, all these names. It's kind of amazing that these names they're there, and then you hear them, and you're like, wow, you instantly remember. That
Mario,
that era, Super Mario.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, did I have a McDonald's trading card from you?
Yeah.
Were you on like Team Canada and got a trading card? Bergevin, I don't know. I don't know if that's the now former GM of the Montreal Canadiens.
I just want to make a comment here. The sportscasting, the talkback, the commentary is actually it's pretty spot on, man. It's very quick. Are you noticing it?
Yeah, but I'm
so amazed by the little things here, but it's like
I'm just surprised by you in general because
well, dude, listen.
We both bow down at the altar of Ron Barr.
I know.
And now you're saying that knock off Ron Barr.
This dude sounds familiar though. I want to look this I want to look this commentator up after.
I want to say he's now a commentator for a team.
Like, what do you mean specifically for like a team?
Like, how, for instance, on some channels, some teams have like a local commentator for certain channels.
Yes.
I want to say he's the commentator for the New York Rangers, but
you may be right.
I don't. I only watch highlights nowadays. Really, I don't have time to watch full games. But yeah,
No, he sounds familiar, but the thing is, though, I think a lot of these announcers, they have that voice. Looks like a penalty.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Hockey Night in Canada guy, though.
He could very well could be. That was a great animation.
Zednik. See, I remember this name too. I remember this.
Yeah.
He's in the box for tripping. Just give me the fight here, guys. Let's go.
Well, I think we got to just check each other into oblivion. Oh, look at that spinorama.
Well, okay, listen. This is what we're going to do.
Oh.
Are you kidding?
No. It's period over.
Oh, okay. I thought it went in.
Yeah.
We're going to break the game. This should be the goal after... We should break it. Let's see if we can get into a fight.
Well, if I win this, the game's over. That's it. We can. So just so we understand, the rule is.
Well, it's best out of 3 for this one.
It is best out of 3, but for Hat-Trix, the rule is that once we play the game, we must throw it in the incinerator and never play it again. So
yeah,
we can never play NHL '94 for the Sega CDs, so long as our natural lives.
We can play it again. We'll after we do a rotation of every hockey game, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, I mean that's just like 1,000 hockey games, but I mean, time is a flat circle, so eventually we will get to it.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I'm going back to my old ways here. I haven't passed at all.
No.
Which is the Y?
It's the cross button. Oh, come on. I find it interesting though that you're getting an Xbox. Oh, that was a crap goal.
Yeah, it was a goal though.
I find it interesting now that you're getting into the Xbox. I think that is abysmal, and that is a crime.
I think it just feels right. It's like I was saying, like I was kind of gaslighting a little bit, and I'm like, should I get Silent Hill 4 for Xbox? Like, why wouldn't I just do that? Like, why am I jonesing to find it on the PS2? And you start going down the rabbit hole, and I'm just like, I literally, man, I took out a bunch of my old EGM magazines, and I was going through the games of the Xbox section, and I was like making a list, and I'm like, I think a lot of my fanboyism from that day prevented me from kind of like, wanting to play this stuff. And now that I'm, whatever, dude, we're older, we got a little money, we can buy these games. I'm like, I want to go back in a time machine, and I want to play these things. And it's like, now's the time to do it.
So, but you are missing a very important factor, which is, you say like, yeah, you can save like what, $40 getting the Silent Hill for the Xbox.
Yeah.
But they don't look nice on the shelf next to each other.
What are you talking about? You just put them in their category.
Yeah, but you're gonna have an Xbox game mingling with a PS2 game.
Well, that's not my fault.
Cats and dogs living together.
That's not my fault that Microsoft decided to have green for their box.
I know.
Like, if you want to talk about a mistake, I'm sorry. The green vomit didn't do much for them.
I hear you, but you understand that to most people, most game collectors, most people who have like a price charting account,
sure,
and have a list of all the games they own, that's saying that you would put Silent Hill 4 for the Xbox next to Silent Hill 3 for the PS2.
No, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, okay. So you're just a filthy liar.
Are you insane?
You are a liar and a charlatan.
No, I'm going to buy this Silent Hill for the room.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in the Xbox section.
Yeah, that's what I asked you.
It's going to be with his friends and family over there.
Yeah.
And then they can go visit each other.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm not...
They have visitations on the...
I'm not going to... That would just be weird.
Mario Lemieux dropping the shoulder means this game is not realistic. Because Mario Lemieux, at the end of his career...
He was hurt very bad.
Was made out of papier-mâché. Okay.
He was hurt pretty bad towards the end.
Yeah, he was out of it.
And then didn't he do something for Team Canada after?
Probably. Oh, like I don't. You might have been. I'm not sure. I mean,
am I having a fever dream? Was he a coach for something? Was he? He was involved in something else.
He may have been. I mean, he was the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Or something.
He was the owner of the Penguins.
So he was the guy. Did he discover Sidney Crosby?
No.
Why do I think that he had some hand in that though? And again,
he drafted Sidney Crosby.
I can't do it, guys. He what?
He drafted Sidney Crosby. They played together. Sidney Crosby and Mario Lemieux, believe it or not, played 1 or 2 seasons together. I remember that.
So this is where I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking about.
He's freaking out, man.
What's going on here?
Too many drugs. That's speed on the ice. Yeah.
Fellas, let's get one in here. Let's do it. Yes, I do remember that. I think that's the connection because I remember.
Mario's never coached. Gretzky coached. He coached he coached the Phoenix Coyotes.
He was owner of the Coyotes, but I don't.
He coached them as well. He took a break from making ice wine and he started coaching.
I can't see.
He had a terrible.
I guess I stopped watching hockey then, but I can't see Gretzky being a coach though.
Neither could Gretzky because neither could the rest of the NHL because Gretzky stopped coaching after that.
Because I can't see him getting angry, and I think the qualifications of being a hockey coach, you gotta be you gotta be tough on these guys.
Greatest goal scorer of all time probably qualifies him.
Well, who's the best coach then?
Oh God, only knows. Scotty Bowman probably.
Scotty Bowen?
Yeah, he won quite a bit for Detroit.
Pat Burns.
And no Leafs. So it only took us one Hat-Trix podcast to abandon the Toronto Maple Leafs.
But that's good though, man.
That's not a bad game. So that
I had a bit of beginner's luck, and then
we cut down the time, and that might not have really helped you terribly, but
No, if dude, if
it wasn't in the plans. So that's NHL 90 or NHL 94. I'm already moving back in time. That's NHL Rivals 2004.
XS.
There was an Xbox Live version. You can play this online. Not anymore, but.
So sorry. So this is a bit of an odd title to have. NHL Rivals 2004 as their flagship hockey game.
It was their one and only hockey game.
Why would they call it NHL Rivals? It sounds. I think this title harmed them.
I think the fact that it was on
Xbox.
It was an Xbox hockey game that no one really cared about. That probably harmed them.
Dude, that name, NHL Rivals. It sounds like a weird alternative hockey game. It does. It sounds like a weird alternative hockey game. I think that name
like the Mutant League hockey.
Well, yeah, or like NHL Hits. Like NHL Rivals just sounds like, I don't know. It'll be humans versus like the Battletoads or like something weird like that. Like, I think that name.
That is the only way this game could have been improved. We've decided.
Well, this is
machine guns.
It's unfortunate because this actually plays good.
I will say that I'm entirely surprised of how good this is, and it was a pleasant surprise. But I mean, that's part of the fun of this little experiment that we're doing is chance to catch up and play completely random hockey games like we would have done back in the day.
If we, owned a Blockbuster and we could just walk in and pick up whatever.
Pick up whatever hockey.
But eBay is like our Blockbuster, essentially.
That's right.
eBay is the new Blockbuster.
And this probably cost me less than it would have cost me to rent back in the day.
Because this game would have been so good, you would have been like, I'm keeping it for another week, and then they would have charged you another $5.
But that's it. NHL Rivals 2004.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
We'll see what other hockey games coming up on Hat-Trix, but for now, thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one, guys. Thanks for joining us.